When do you hire a freelancer? When do you hire a full-time employee for your startup or your agency? That's what we're talking about today on the Biz Chat. Hey, I'm Kyle Racky, and today I'm talking about when do you hire a freelancer versus an employee for your startup. I've had experience on both sides, both starting a small agency and a product SaaS company. So there are times when I've hired freelancers and times when I've gone straight to full-time employee. And I'm going to talk about kind of both of those scenarios so you can kind of see what type of person you should hire when you're trying to build a business. Now, I think freelancers are an essential tool in your business startup arsenal. I think you need to make use of freelancers at some point, and I kind of view them as a bridge to the other side. They're like a bridge to getting you to hiring a full-time employee. I don't think in either case they're very like a long-term strategy when it's somebody or it's a role that you really need constantly in your business. It's an essential service. It's not just a one-off. So in both cases, there are times when we've hired freelancers that have transitioned into full-time roles. So for example, with Jen, she manages our content marketing and our branding and social media and everything at Proposify. And she was somebody that I knew for a long time. I worked in other agencies with her. I hired her as a freelancer for our agency. And she was doing a little bit of copywriting and editing work for us at Proposify. Now the timing ended up becoming perfect because she was looking to transition out of her freelance practice while we were looking to hire somebody full-time in that capacity, and it was just a match made in heaven, and she came full-time to work for us. Same thing happened with Ricky, who's our product manager. He and I go way back. We're good friends. He was our first hire at Headspace. He was doing some freelance with us at Proposify, and then eventually it just made sense. He wanted to come on board full-time. Now you may not have that kind of luck that we have. Your circumstances may not be the same. So sometimes you might be hiring a freelancer and then they don't want to quit their freelance practice, so you need to hire somebody else to fill their shoes. There are occasions we did this with both designers, with people managing our PPC and our ad spend and that kind of thing, where we outsourced it until it made sense to hire full-time. I think there are some scenarios where you actually don't want to hire a freelancer. You want to go straight into a full-time role. One of those, I think, is a developer. So when you're building a new startup from a tech standpoint, your software, your app, I don't think you should hire a freelance developer. Reasons being, I think that a freelance developer will not give it the same kind of long-term vision that somebody in a full-time role will. So I think a freelance developer, they may be wanting to kind of try out some new technology, learn a new language or a framework, and they might use your project to kind of test it out on. They don't have to support it long-term, so they're not going to kind of have that same long-term vision. I think the other thing is that when you're building an app from the ground up or a new SaaS product, you need to give it really a long-term view as well. Like, it's not going to be perfect when it launches. It's going to have a lot of bugs. It's going to need a lot of features built, and you're not just going to pay a freelancer to build version 1 and then forget it. Like, you're going to need somebody for at least a year or more, probably forever, just constantly iterating on customer feedback. If you have a freelancer, then you have to keep going back for change orders. There's scope creep. You have to pay more anyway, so you might as well just hire somebody full-time to do that from the start. They're going to be, they're not going to have other clients. They're going to be committed. The other thing is, I think founders should probably try to do as much as they can themselves before even going to a freelancer. So for us with QA, quality assurance, me or Kevin tested the product ourselves for as long as we could until we could, afford to hire a full-time person. The other scenario where I don't think it makes sense to hire even freelancer and go straight to full-time is with customer service, or maybe it's your account manager, your support rep, whoever it is. I mean, we all know when we get on the phone with a call center, representing the business that we're trying to call, they don't have, the same knowledge, the same passion, loyalty that somebody who's working in the company has, and when you're dealing with an outsourced support rep. So I think that is something, again, the founder should do themselves for as long as they can. And even probably after they hire a support rep, a founder should still do customer service. Those are my thoughts on building a startup. Now with an agency, things are a little bit different because you're selling service, you're not selling a product. So here's the difference. Let's say you're starting an agency and you're a designer, or you're a marketer and you're selling your service to clients as a freelance. You can't really sustain having a freelancer for too long because they're gonna probably charge almost as much as you charge, eat up a lot of your profit margins, in fact, all your profit margins. So, as soon as you can, you need to get somebody on the payroll full-time servicing the clients. And the other thing I see is that I think when you're starting an agency, you as the founder need to be getting on like sales and marketing and business development should be your primary job. So you should not be wasting your time on executing client work. It's going to be really hard because it's going to be your baby and you're going to feel a sense of ownership over the work and over the client. You should be getting somebody mid to senior level who is able to execute on client deliverables. And yes, you'll oversee it, you'll make sure the quality is on par, that it's living up to your vision of what kind of work you want to deliver. But if you get a junior person in to take care of the execution, you're going to be spending all of your time hand-holding and babysitting and training them because they just don't have the kind of experience that you need early on when you're building an agency from the ground up. As soon as you can, get a team in to start executing on the deliverables for your clients so you as the founder can go and start generating more business so you can get more clients and more revenue to build up the team even further. Those are my thoughts on hiring employees and freelancers. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you disagree? Do you agree? I'd love to hear what you think. And if you like more content like this, be sure to check out Proposify.biz. Sign up to our weekly email where you'll get more content like this. We have podcasts, we have other cool stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.